I'm an Australian and I'm currently here in Moscow, Russia, and I've been here for quite a few months, and I really want to share with you some of the cultural differences, especially when it comes to how we communicate with each other. So if I'm in Australia, for example, and I'm meeting another Australian, and we kind of greet each other, we don't say something like hello or hi. I just don't use these words. It'd be something like, how's it going? What's going on? What are you up to? Some kind of variant. It's like an inquiry as to the well-being of the person, but it's actually not. It's simply a way of greeting people. If an Australian then said, oh yeah, I'm really good. Today I did this and yesterday I did this, I'd be like, why the fuck are you telling me that for? The appropriate response would be to either say the same thing back. So I say, hey, how's it going? They say, oh, how's it going? Or make some kind of generic comment like, not bad, yourself. Yeah, I'm alright. Been worse, been better, whatever. Yourself, you. What about you? And then I'll say something, oh yeah, alright. And that's it, right? That's the end. Now in Russia, if I greet someone I don't know, if I ask them how they are, they'll be suspicious. They'll be thinking, why is this guy who doesn't know me asking me how I am? And then if I ask someone who I do know how they're going as a greeting, they'll actually answer me in detail. They think I'm serious. And they might start saying, oh, I slept really badly last night. It's raining too much. It's kind of depressing me. And I have to work really hard at the moment. I say something serious like this, right? And I'm like, stop killing my vibe, man. I don't care. Why are you telling me this stuff for? There is a very correct way to greet each other in Russia, or in Russian, should I say. If you don't know somebody, you say "Здравствуйте," right? Which is the formal of hello. And this is always. You don't say "Привет" to someone you don't know. Like, people just don't do that shit. But if you know someone, just as seriously, you don't say "Здравствуйте," right? You say "Привет." The second really big difference I've noticed is how we deal with really shitty weather. So for example, I'm from Melbourne, Australia, and it can rain a bit in the winter. Look, it's pretty cold, it's pretty crappy by Australian standards. But what will typically happen is that we'll be prepared. If it's gonna rain, we'll have, say for example, our umbrellas, right? We'll be prepped up for that. We generally don't want to get wet. And if it's raining kind of mid to heavy, we'll just avoid going out in general. And if we have to, say, go from one building to the other, we might like make a mad run over. And we'll be looking on the ground to see where the puddles are, to try and avoid the puddles, right? And if it's a kind of busy area, what you'll see is just a sea of umbrellas. The umbrellas just hitting each other from the side, an absolute sea of umbrellas blocking all the rain coming down. Here in Russia, there's almost no difference in the way they behave. Like, a lot of them will just walk in the rain like it's not even raining. They won't have an umbrella, they just don't care. They're getting wet all the way through, they won't run. They won't avoid the puddles, they won't prep and have an umbrella. Like, even when it's raining pretty heavily, some people will stop, like some people will wait until it stops raining, but heaps of people just walk through the rain. And as I say, not even with an umbrella, they don't think ahead, they just don't seem to give a fuck, quite frankly. Alright, stop right there. If you're enjoying this video, click like, then I know this is what you want to see, and I'll make more videos like this one. You can kind of see even here, right, obviously I'm in Red Square, that's St. Basil's Cathedral, very famous landmark. And it is raining, it's been raining all day, but you just see people don't really care that much. There's not that many umbrellas, no one's running, everyone's doing lots of photos. Yeah, it is a touristy area, but this does reflect what you expect to see on any kind of drizzly, rainy day. The next difference is something that I find really amusing and something that I still feel a bit awkward about. It's really funny. So in Australia, right, just say I'm in Australia and I'm going on a date with a girl I don't really know, it's a first date. You can be guaranteed that there will not be 3 consecutive seconds ever in that hour, 2 hour, 3 hour time where someone's not talking, right? We get this feeling of like awkward silence, and someone will just friggin' talk. Someone will ask a question, someone will start speaking shit. You just don't have a silence. You could be just talking about the dumbest, most irrelevant stuff that no one cares about, right? But you must keep talking. There's this social etiquette thing. And if you stop talking and the seconds tick by, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds, the tension builds, right? As I say, both parties are really invested in keeping that conversation going. And, if both parties do stop, what you'll see is both will be like racking their brains. What can I say next? What can I talk about next? What question can I ask? And then someone might fire out some generic question like, so, did you grow up in Melbourne? As an example. Contrasting this with life here in Russia, and I can see just from looking around and looking at dates and so forth, you can see that it's really common and normal to be on a date, guy and a girl on a date together, and no one talks. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, it doesn't matter, it's okay. There's no point just speaking some crap. I can remember going on a date here in Moscow, and I was following the Western etiquette, so I'm just kind of talking, because she's not talking much, right? So I'm just talking, a bit of broken Russian, blah, blah, blah. And I reckon about half an hour in, she goes, "You talk a lot." And it's like, well, yeah, maybe, but this is how it works in Australia, in the West, right? We talk. But here, unless you have something meaningful to say, you're just better off saying nothing, and that's kind of how it works here.